You're listening to Business Talk Radio, where we take business to the next level.
Rapping with Dr. Jacalyn connects you with experts from all over the world to help you take charge of your career, your business, and your life. Rap along with us. Visit drjacalyn.com to learn how to become a guest or a sponsor. And now, the doctor is in.
Hello and welcome to Rapping with Dr. Jacalyn presents A Better You, lessons from the best coaches, consultants, and trusted advisors. I am your host and executive producer, Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck. I am a certified life and career coach. Our show is all about what I just said, having lessons presented by people who are the best in their field, helping us to become better versions of ourselves. Today, what we will have is a presenter who will share something with us for up to 15 minutes. And then as panelists, we will talk with the presenter about what we learned today. Who is our presenter, you might ask? Welcome, Elise Benkard. She is joining us, Pause with Presence from New York. It's great to see you.
Great to see you too, Dr. Jacalyn. Thank you.
Thank you. And who is our panelist? Welcome from Pittsburgh, Anna Bassham. Nice to see you.
Hi, nice to be here.
So I'd like us to just start by, first of all, welcome. Happy to have you at A Better You. And you both here because you are the best. And I want you to just share with people what it is that you do. What type of work do you do? And what kind of value can you offer to people watching and listening? We'll start with you, Elise.
Okay, so I call myself a corporate survivor. I'm a mom with 3 teens, and I have finally learned how to breathe. I've taken 600 plus hours of yoga teacher training, and I started out by teaching yoga, and I traveled to India where I actually fell in love with the meditation piece. One of the things that I find incredibly important to share with people is that there is a way to practice meditation in a modern way, which I will get more into in a little bit. But I really hope to be able to share the practice with as many people as possible and to explain that it's not something that only a select few people are capable of doing, that we all are.
I love that. Thank you, Elise. Well done. Anna, can you please share with us what you do and the value that you can bring to our audience?
Sure. So my name's Anna Bassham. I'm a social media strategist, and I call myself a brand storyteller as well. So I really like to go beyond trying to make sales and focusing on more the overall story that you're telling through social media. So I'm very passionate about using social media in a very authentic way and a very heartfelt way that really helps build community and trust. So what I do is I can help companies and employers build and implement effective social media strategies. And those strategies will increase their value of their brand, it attracts the right people, and it builds those meaningful relationships with those people.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. And I always like to share, a lot of times I have people on the program whom I'm working with personally, and I hope that people will say, well, if Dr. Jacalyn's working with them, I want to check them out too. So Elise and I met at a meditation teacher training certification program, and Elise just has this incredible gift. When she meditated or led the class, I should say, for the first time, I was like, oh my gosh, this woman has a gift. You just take everything down and just slow it down. And Anna and I are working together. She's my social media coach, and we just started working together recently so she can clean up my mess and get the branding all in line. So that being said, we're going to start with you, Elise, for your 15-minute presentation. Are you ready?
Yes, let's do it.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to spotlight you, and I'm
Okay.
going to give you the 15-minute timer, and I'm going to mute the two of us. So when you're ready, here you go. Take it away,
Okay,
Elise.
fantastic. Thank you for joining. I'm really excited to share this presentation with you today. What I'm hoping to do, as I said earlier, is to be able to access as many people as possible to teach the beautiful practice of meditation. The foundation the fundamentals, and how to practice modern meditation. So I think that we've all been exposed to, people saying you must practice meditation, you must do this technique, you must do that technique. And I'm a very fond supporter of the fact that there are many different techniques, just as we are many different people with different experiences. What I'm hoping to be able to share with you today is a solid place to begin, some steps to get there, some idea of what my goals are as a guide in meditation for myself and for others, and just a place to understand that this is a practice that everybody can achieve, and there's no right or wrong way. There are many, many different ways. So I call this practice pause with presence. It's very much about living in this present moment, about experiencing this present moment. I'm going to teach you some steps, and then in the last 5 minutes or so, I'm actually going to offer a guided meditation with some of these techniques so you can see how it resonates with me. So the goal of modern meditation, in my mind, is to learn how to respond, not to react. And we live in this culture where so much is happening all the time. And I don't know about you, but I certainly find myself often just wanting to react to something someone said or to the way someone has behaved towards me, even on the street. And what I've found in my meditation practice is that it has allowed me to stop, understand that we all have things that we're going through, and versus just reacting, taking a moment and a breath to respond versus just fly off the handle or what have you, to understand that this person that I'm having said interaction with may have just experienced something very hurtful. The other part of modern meditation is to calm our minds. And a lot of people say, oh, I can't do that, I can't sit still. I believe that you can be walking or riding a bike and in a place of meditation. It's a place where you're focused on that current present moment, not on things that you've been working on before or things that are coming after. So it's really about connecting ourselves to this present moment. So step number one is to find a space that feels calming and safe, that feels useful to you. So I always ask first and foremost that you find that space. Step number two is within that space to start to explore a position. And I would come to this place differently whenever possible. So just because you have learned a certain method of meditation in a certain seat or a certain posture, I don't believe that that's a modern way of practicing. I believe the most modern way that we can practice is to discover within ourselves in the moment what is most useful. So lying down, seated cross-legged, seated in a chair, seated on the floor, feet on the floor. I even often offer walking or standing meditations depending on what clients I'm working with. Step number 3 is to begin to soften your gaze or allow your eyes to close. If you don't feel comfortable in this space, in this moment, closing your eyes, I always offer the option to find an object of comfort and just soften your gaze on that object. That can be your focus that helps you stay present. It's about your level of comfort and your experience in the moment. Step number 4 is to notice your breath. Connect with where your breath is in this moment, not, again, trying to change anything or alter anything. And often I say without judgment, not judging where your breath is in this moment or in this day, not judging any sensations or experiences that are coming up for you. Step number 5 is to notice any sensations. So I often guide my students through the sensation of sound. Sound, like everything else in our lives, changes every moment. There are different things happening all around us, and they come with different sounds. We often are taught to label those sounds and have either good emotions associated with them or bad emotions associated with them. And what I ask my students to do is to understand that sound is a vibration, and each sound happens as it does in that moment. It could be a wonderful, beautiful thing to meditate on. I generally start my meditations with bringing awareness to the sounds happening around us, because we often don't live in a place where we can sit in quiet or meditate in quiet. And it's really important to understand that we don't have to judge what's happening around us. It can be part of our experience. Step number 6, I bring reference to the body. So we generally do some sort of body scan just to start to understand, again, where your body is in this moment. Are you holding tension anywhere? Is there tension in your forehead? Are your shoulders up by your ears, or do you feel any tension across your chest or in your back? Places that we don't often think about, but I like to bring awareness to in meditation. The palms of our hands, the soles of our feet, your belly. Can you soften? Can you relax? Can you allow yourself to soften into the surface beneath you? Step number 7, begin to notice thoughts and emotions. And this is generally something that I work on with more advanced clients, because again, we have to first learn not to judge where we are in this moment, in order to not connect any sort of attachment to thoughts and emotions that are coming into play. That said, it's incredibly important to notice your thoughts and emotions for what they are, and notice in this moment that they can be, and you don't have to attach them. You don't have to judge them. You don't have to feel good about them or bad about them. They can just exist simply. And then step number 8, I usually prompt clients to come back to the breath and to add a count if it's useful. Another tool, so for example, you would count from 1 to 10 and then start again at 1. It just keeps you present in this moment with your breath. So it could be 1 inhale, and then an exhale, number 2 inhale, and then an exhale, or you can count every inhale and every exhale. So 1 for an inhale, 2 for an exhale. It's really what is most useful to you in the moment. The other tool that I like to use a lot, especially when I begin meditation, is resting one hand on the chest and one hand on your belly, and noticing the movement of your body as you inhale and exhale. This is just a really great way to connect with how the breath is coming in, filling your chest, filling your ribs, and moving your belly, and then how your body softens on your exhale. Then another step or another option is practicing a mantra, which generally mantras are some sort of vibration. Like Om is a classic one that we've all probably heard. It is the vibration of the universe, or it stands for historically the vibration of the universe. Any word that resonates with you makes a great mantra. Another thing is affirmations. So maybe offering yourself love or kindness or compassion, and promising that to yourself in this moment, something that you can say to yourself over and over and over just to remain present. And the beautiful thing of offering yourself kindness and compassion as well. So all of those are different techniques. And that said, what I generally recommend when you're starting out your practice is that you begin by sitting for 5 minutes. And as you start to feel comfortable in that 5 minutes, go ahead and continue to add 5 minutes to your sit. But I would never recommend that someone start out with a half an hour, for example. So that said, I am now going to offer you a 5-minute meditation on the breath so that you can see how I would lead that beginning practice. So please go ahead and make sure that you're in a space that feels useful to you to follow this practice. And then start to find a position that feels comfortable, works for you for the next 5 minutes. And settle into that space and into your position, using any props that you need, taking any small movements to settle. You can sit on a pillow or use a blanket. And start to just notice your breath. Notice where and how your breath enters your body on an inhale. And notice where and how it exits on your exhale. Perhaps noticing the temperature of your breath, any movement your body makes with each inhale and each exhale. And as you're settling into the surface beneath you, just notice any sounds that you hear. Maybe the sounds of someone that you share your space with, the sound of my voice, the television in the background. Depending on where you are, you could be hearing the sound of cars on the street, the sound of wind in the trees. Just notice without labeling or attaching anything. Just notice how these sounds can wash over you like vibrations. And come back to your breath. Inhaling awareness of your current sensations, any place that you're holding tension in your body. And with every exhale, allow yourself to soften deeper into the surface beneath you. Inhaling and exhaling. Noticing with each breath, right here and right now. If thoughts come and you feel an attachment to them, let them go and come back to the sound of my voice, to the sensation of your breath in your body. I offer you the tool of resting one hand on your chest and one on your belly, or of counting your breath. In these final moments of our practice together, continuing to breathe, inhaling and exhaling to soften. And with awareness, notice again your body, your connection to the surface beneath you, any sensations, the air against your skin, and gently and slowly come back to your immediate space. Open your eyes, take any small movements. Thank you.
Outstanding. Once
nice.
again, really nice.
Thank you, ladies.
Well done, Elise. How do you feel?
Thank you. Good.
Good. Excellent.
It's my favorite thing, teaching, sharing this practice. It really is.
Well, it really comes through. You're great at it. So thank you. We are going to take a break before we come back and chat about your presentation. And I'm going to offer the phone number. If you have a phone and you can pick it up and dial this number, we would love to hear from you. The number is 609 961 1699. We're going to take a commercial break and we will be right back on Rapping with Dr. Jacalyn presents A Better You. Stay with us. Located at 121 Haddon Avenue in Westmont, New Jersey, is Margie Cedrone, artisan jeweler. Margie's been in business for more than 30 years. She works with her clients to create custom pieces of jewelry to reflect their personality and help them make their own bold statement. Starting in the renowned Jewelers Row in Center City, Philadelphia in 1988, Margie works directly with her clients to develop one-of-a-kind pieces such as necklaces, engagement rings, wedding bands, unique watches and tennis bracelets, as well as a myriad of rings and earrings for everyone in your family. She also has worked directly with Dr. Jacalyn over the years, creating unique pieces of jewelry to reflect her personality. She does pearl stringing and repairs on site at 121 Haddon Avenue. Call or text Margie at 215-384-7155. Margie Sajone Jewelry is open by appointment only. Make your own bold statement.
Hi, my name is Zane Carson Carruth, and I'm the author of this book, The World's First Tooth Fairy Ever.
Reading is magic. Studies have shown that reading to your children lays the foundation for greater success in life. Reading helps develop language and vocabulary skills. It helps improve memory, and it encourages curiosity and inspires creativity. The benefits are immeasurable, and as a parent, you'll benefit too. In only 10 or 15 minutes a day, you'll be creating warm memories and a bonding experience that will last for years to come. So take time to read to your children. Read them books about things that engage and interest them. Tales of fairies and magic fascinate children, and as everyone knows, the Tooth Fairy is at the top of the list. If your child loves magic, wands, adventure, and what child doesn't, you'll love reading them books from the trademarked series, The World's First Tooth Fairy Ever. Follow along as Bella, the world's first tooth fairy, accidentally starts the tooth fairy tradition. Learn the tricks of being a professional tooth fairy in the book, Bella Starts a Tooth Fairy School. Your child's imagination will soar as you read the adventures of Bella and her magic wand. These wonderful books are available at worldsfirsttoothfairy.com and at Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and Walmart.
Have you just lost your job or have been laid off and you are looking to transition to a new job or career? Maybe you have even tried submitting tons of applications and yet you keep getting turned down for jobs you qualify for. Don't wait until you become overwhelmed with rejections when you can easily transition or get your dream job. Let MJW Careers guide you to the right career path and a better, brighter future. At MJW Careers, we know what hiring managers are looking for, and our goal is to land you the job you deserve. What makes MJW Careers a wonderful provider over other services is our pragmatic and scientific approach to resume writing. There are rules, there are visual cues, there are content best practices. We understand those and work within the boundaries to ensure our clients' messaging appeals to the decision makers. Our career consultants will help you transition into new roles quickly and effectively. With our experience in virtually every industry, we will provide direction in the frustrating job market by helping you write a customized, professional resume and prepare you for your interview as well. Join the great number of people we have helped scale up to greater things in their careers. Let us help you on your career journey. Come visit us, www.jobstickers.com, to learn more and grab a free resume review or ebook.
You're listening to Business Talk Radio, where we take business to the next level.
Welcome back to Rapping with Dr. Jacalyn presents A Better You, lessons from the best coaches, consultants, and trusted advisors. With me today is Elise Benkard from New York. Pause with Presence. We just had a beautiful presentation by you. And also with us today is Anna Bassham, social media strategist. Hello.
Hey.
Hi.
Hi. So let's get started. Anna, I'm going to turn to you since I've worked with Elise and I know her meditation style, which I absolutely love. So what's your feedback on her presentation? What you learned?
Yeah, so I absolutely loved it, Elise. I mean, I've been into mindfulness for quite a while now. I took a mindfulness-based stress reduction class a couple of years ago, and I found it was really useful for reducing my stress and just helping me center in the moment. And you're right that we all need this now more than ever with COVID and feeling isolated and stressed about things. So I really loved the way that you walked us through that meditation. And the fact that it's only 5 minutes means pretty much anyone can do it anywhere at any time. So I thought that was really neat.
Wonderful. By the way, I love that shoe you have back there. What is that? Stiletto? I love that.
Yeah, that's actually a wine holder, but yeah, I use it as a decoration.
I love it. I love it. It's like, I can't even remember the last time I wore a pair of stilettos or high heels. It's crazy. But
I mean, yeah, we don't need to now.
So, Elise, I took some notes, and what I really like about what you do is you broke it all down, right? So that somebody, if they never practiced meditation before, they had no idea what it was, they just follow these steps. And the one thing that you mentioned, which I'd like you to elaborate on a little bit, is about meditating while walking or standing.
Yeah. So I have had a lot of clients say to me, they can't sit still, or, yeah, that just doesn't work for me. I'm pretty active in the spin community, and a lot of people who practice spin just say, no way, I can't ever do that. And so I think the important thing to remember is that meditation is not about sitting still, although a lot of us are guided to believe that from people that we've practiced with or learned from. That is one technique, but it is not the only technique. Meditation is about, and mindfulness they're slightly different things, but it's about being present in this moment. It's about understanding that we have choices, that we don't have to attach ourselves to what's happening in the moment, to the emotions that we have as a response, that we can actually choose how we're going to respond to what comes up in our lives, both, wonderful and also challenging.
Well said. By the way, we have a comment here from a superwoman. Martha Krejci, wow. Why don't I post the comments? You can see it. Wow, what a powerhouse of thought leaders. Thank you, Martha. That's wonderful. I wish we were in a situation where Martha could just drop in. You know what I mean? It'd be cool for her to just drop in and chat with us. So thank you for watching. So if someone's out there and they're thinking, you know what, I really need to decompress and I'd like to go outside. So they could go outside and take a walk and meditate. Is that what you're saying?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I'm sorry, I didn't finish that thought, did I? Very well. So I think that there's so many different ways to meditate. And for a lot of people, being in nature or being outside or exercising is a method of meditation. It's something that brings you into this present moment and has you address what's coming up for you in this present moment. And I think, a lot of times being by the seaside, for example, people bring that up all the time as a very peaceful experience. I think there's something about waves washing on shore and water that just makes us be really present. And that's what it's about to me. So yes, very much. You can be in movement. Obviously, you shouldn't be riding a bicycle and not thinking about anything that's happening around you. But that's part of it is, staying in this moment.
Thank you for that. I'm wondering, Anna, you practice mindfulness. What tips do you have from your own practice that you can share about when you're meditating or you're practicing mindfulness?
I mean, I definitely liked the point that Elise made about the fact that you can do it anywhere. You can use any props you need and find a position that works for you, because I'm a person who likes to do things, follow instructions to a T, do it the right way that's going to get me the most benefit. And it was really a great reminder that this is really time for yourself to get centered however that works for you. So that was my biggest takeaway I've learned. And then that mantra also helps a lot. I like using different mantras depending on how I'm feeling, or different affirmations. So if I'm feeling like really worried about a project, for example, I might have the mantra, I am strong, or I am capable. And that's the one that works for me during my practice. So those are two big things that have really helped me in my practice with yoga and meditation.
I really like that.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
Yeah, I want to give a shout out to another friend. I don't know if you can see the Power of Affirmations by Cinda Rothman. So this is what I use to write in my affirmations. What do you think about actually putting all of your affirmations in one place instead of just having a yellow line notepad? And do you believe in putting it all in a book of some kind of one?
I agree with that completely. I believe writing everything down in a place that you can go back to it is always a great practice. Like, visual boards, affirmations, all of that. But there's a lot of research out there that the more that you put to paper, the more you actually are able to really achieve what you're trying to achieve. I think that's a great idea.
And, this show obviously is about being a better you, right? Lessons to learn. So this morning on another show, Alex Kaplan and I were just talking about the fact that even while we try to better ourselves, and we do better ourselves, sometimes we still have that voice in our head that's been there for a million years. Like mine's around my weight. I always feel like I'm too fat. And it's like it won't shut up, but you keep going forward and doing the things that you need to do. How can practicing mindfulness help with that?
That's an excellent question. I think a big part of it is losing that attachment to those feelings. I mean, really sitting in the present moment and accepting the present moment for what it is about disconnecting with those labels. And that's one of the things I love about the sound meditation, is that if we can stop judging the sounds that we're hearing and, I'm supposed to be in meditation right now. Will my husband stop doing that in the other room, or, whatever it is, and notice it as part of the moment and part of this present moment. Once we can start connecting that to the sounds, to our breath, it becomes easier and easier to connecting to the thoughts that we have, and to recognizing those negative statements that we're making to ourselves as just that. They're negative statements, and they're maybe not useful, and maybe we can let those go in that moment as well. So again, it's not judging yourself. Like, don't beat yourself up that you've had that thought or had that connection, but understanding that thought exists, and then maybe releasing it and letting it go, and maybe providing yourself with a lovely, wonderful, kind affirmation that can replace that for you.
Yeah,
that's why we call it a practice.
That's right. Anna, do you have something to add to that?
No, I think that's pretty much sums it up for me. It did help me when I learned that my thoughts were not truth. That was a big moment for me when I was going through mindfulness training. And I don't know exactly what the shift was, but ever since I realized, just looking at my thoughts and realizing those are separate entities from who I am, that really changed my life and how I perceive myself. So
wonderful.
I think it's great.
Yeah. They don't define you.
Right.
And I found, since I started practicing meditation, which is just last year, because when did we graduate, Elise? December?
Yes.
Yeah. So you already have
Nice.
your certifications. That was my first certification for meditation. But what I found was when that old, I would say that tape recorder or that voice that pops up that says, you need to lose weight, or why were you eating that, or whatever it is, I hear it, and then I just let it go. And then I just breathe. I breathe in calm, and I breathe out stress or judgment or whatever it is. And it's really helped a lot.
That's great.
Yeah. So I think that's for today, what I want people to take away from our program is that when you think about being a better you, whether it's a better person physically, mentally, helping other people, you can start with the practice of mindfulness and meditation, which doesn't cost you any money. You don't need any props. You don't have to go anywhere. And Elise just gave us, eight points here, and then practicing a mantra and affirmation. So in case you are stressed out, when you are stressed out, please refer to this video, and hopefully you can find your own calm, your own sense of self, your self-worth.
And then share it with other people as well.
I love that. I love that. That's great. Elise, I'm going to spotlight you, and I'm going to put up your contact information. So how can people reach you? Remember, we're also on the radio.
Great. Yeah. So I can be reached at penelopesstories.com. The name Penelope and 2 S's, stories.com. I am practicing meditation and also sell jewelry to support women's foundations in support of education and strengthening communities.
That's wonderful. Anything you want to leave our viewers and listeners with today, Elise?
Just that it's not a complex skill that other people have and you don't, and believe in yourself and do what you can to take care of yourself, but remember to breathe.
Wonderful. Thank you. And, I was listening to a friend today. He has a podcast, and he was talking about self-care, giving yourself small gifts and not blowing your budget or going out and buying extravagant things. But what a great gift to give yourself, the practice of mindfulness, or the practice of meditation.
Definitely.
Anna, yeah. I'm going to spotlight you, except that looks like Elise. Spotlight you with your contact information. So for the people on the radio listening, what is the best way to reach out to you?
Sure. So definitely my email's right there. So bassham.anna@gmail.com. I have a website that's annabassham.com. But honestly, since I'm in social media, I'm on social all the time. So I would tell you Instagram and Twitter are my most active platforms. And I'm at Anna Bassham on both of those.
And Anna, as a social media strategist and brand storyteller, what types of services do you provide to your clients?
Sure. So I usually start with an audit, which just takes a look at where you are and identifies key areas that we can improve. Then it's a social media strategy that I present. And then we go from there and figure out what's the best way to work together. So it could be, hourly, it could be a project basis, it could be some sort of a longer term relationship. But yeah, basically we kind of see what best fits the client and how I can help them make the most impact with their social.
And just to tag on to what I started to say in the beginning. So Anna and I are working together, and she did an audit of my social media, and I seriously needed help, and I appreciated what she pointed out. And then she has a strategy to implement that. And it really does take a lot of the pressure off of me, because to be on all the platforms that I'm on with all the shows and have everything look the same way and have the same branding. She's doing an excellent job. So I highly recommend that you reach out to her.
Thank you.
All right, ladies, thank you so much. I'm just going to close the show, and I'll be right back with you.
Great. Thank you.
Sounds good. Thank you, guys.
Thanks for being here. And as I always say at the end of our program, thank you to our loyal listeners and to our viewers. We appreciate your comments. Thank you, Martha. And there's a bunch of people watching on LinkedIn and Facebook. I didn't get to call your names out, but I know you're there and I appreciate it. I just want to announce that A Better You, if you're interested in being on the program, you can go to our website, which is abetteryou.tv. Or you can go to drjacalyn.com. You can sign up there. We are in the process of putting together the design and rollout of A Better You University, which is an online platform for these bite-sized lessons. And then finally, we are thrilled. Hopefully we're going to be able to do this in person. That's our plan. Fall of 2022, A Better You convention and trade show. So who wants to go to Vegas, baby, and join us? I don't know if that's really where we're going, but anyway, that's what we're up to here. And I thank you again for watching. Our next show is tomorrow at 11 o'clock, and that is also A Better You. And then we have It's All About Dating, which is one of my favorite shows because we just laugh and laugh and laugh. So that's at 4 o'clock Eastern time. Take care of yourselves. Be good. Give yourself the gift of grace and also the gift of mindfulness and meditation. Thank you. We'll see you tomorrow.
My stomach issues make me want to stay home, but that's not an option. No matter how prepared I am, I still feel nervous. Enough is enough.
If this sounds familiar, the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation can offer you support and connect you with a specialist.
Don't keep your symptoms to yourself. Get help at spillyourguts.org today.